What's up, YouTube? So yesterday was the Super Bowl. The New England Patriots beat the Los Angeles Rams 13-3. It was a pretty good game. As a really defensive-oriented game, which is indicated by the low score. So Tom Brady has been to 9 Super Bowls. He's won 6 Super Bowls now. He's been to 3 in a row, and he's won 2 out of those 3. So he's the all-time winningest quarterbacks in Super Bowls. I think second behind him are Terry Bradshaw and Joe Montana with 4. So Tom Brady is an absolute fire. The MVP of yesterday's Super Bowl was Julian Edelman. He had 10 receptions for 141 yards. He absolutely went crazy. And the funny thing is, the Rams plotted and schemed on how to stop him, and they just couldn't do it. They couldn't do it at all. So Tom Brady he's got his 6th ring. It doesn't look like he's going to stop anytime soon. So today on First Take, they're going to talk about the Super Bowl and everything that went along with that. And everybody knows that Max Kellerman is the Tom Brady hater. He has said that as soon as Tom Brady or really any quarterback hits 40 years old, that they fall off. They fall off a cliff. But Tom Brady has proved them wrong time and time again. I think Max Kellerman said this about 2.5 years ago about Tom Brady. Since then, Tom Brady has been to 3 Super Bowls, and he's won 2 of them. So everything Max has said about Tom Brady has done the opposite, and he's just won. So let's hear what Max Kellerman has to say on First Take. I think their argument is it fair for to compare Michael Jordan and Tom Brady against each other as both being the GOAT? Is it fair to compare them as being the GOAT? So let's see what they have to say.
Brady is the greatest of all time because it's like as though Hank Aaron, the home run champ, who did it by hitting 40, 45 home runs a year, every year basically for 20-something years, was managed by like Casey Stengel or some great manager for a great team, so he also won a bunch of championships. Tom Brady, at various points in his career, looked like the best player in football, here and there. But it wasn't like throughout his whole career we were like, that's the best guy in the league. We thought that because he was very, very good in the regular season, and he was not a choker in the postseason. And as his career went along, he became better and better under pressure.
First off, Max, you're exactly right. Nobody expected Tom Brady to be what he was or what he is. As a matter of fact, Tom Brady started out from the dirt. He started out from the ground. He was a 6th round pick. I think he's 199th overall pick as a quarterback out of Michigan. I think he ran one of the worst 40s as a quarterback in the NFL Combine. So nobody expected Tom Brady to be what he is and what he's become, and what more is he going to do? So as far as that's concerned, you're right, Max. Nobody expected Tom Brady to be what he is, even though he's shown glimpses over time. But let's get back to what Max has to say. Let's see what more he has to say.
Till he actually elevated in the postseason. But many years of his career, the consensus was Peyton Manning was better, till it mattered most. Many years of his career, people with eyeballs know that Aaron Rodgers is better. Brady never gave you the sense that you were looking at Babe Ruth or Michael Jordan.
I think when people say a quarterback, any quarterback is better than Tom Brady, I don't think they mean overall body of work. I think they might mean, let's say Aaron Rodgers might be a better athlete than Tom Brady is, which I can argue with that. He may scramble better, may be able to run better. He may be able to juke, things. He's just a better runner. Let's say maybe Peyton Manning. He may have been, he might have a stronger arm, maybe a better pocket passer. Just a variance of different quarterbacks have different things that are better than Tom Brady. But as a whole body of work, everything combined, it'd be very hard to say that somebody's better than Tom Brady, let alone say that they're more clutch than Tom Brady. I'd almost say the second quarterback behind Tom Brady being clutch would have to be Joe Montana, maybe John Elway in clutch games coming back. But let's continue on and listen to what Max Kellerman has to say.
The reason Babe Ruth's considered the greatest baseball player of all time is because he was lapping the league. When he hit 60 home runs, no other American League team hit 60 home runs. He did it by himself. And he was like the greatest left-handed pressure pitcher of all time. When Michael Jordan, the reason he's considered the greatest ever is because, first of all, your eyeballs when they were on him was like, oh, that guy's different. But also, yeah, he's 6-0 in championships. But also, yeah, the 5 MVPs, but we all know why those other 5 MVPs through the 10 years of his career, his real career, weren't given to Jordan. Those were sympathy MVPs to spread around the league. Jordan's really a 10-time MVP. So Tom Brady is the greatest football player of all time. He is the greatest quarterback of all time. Career.
Now, I don't agree with Max in saying that Tom Brady is the best football player ever, because there's just too many moving parts. There's too many positions. There's the offensive side of the ball. There's the defensive side of the ball. And they both need each other. Because last night's Super Bowl, if the defense wasn't holding it down, which they were, their offense, the Rams' offense would have been scoring more points than what Brady would have been able to put up. And Brady can't play offense. So I think there's just too many different parts, too many different positions that are needed to say that any one person is the best football player. I would say maybe positional. You can say Tom Brady's maybe the best quarterback, even though I'm a Joe Montana guy. But to say that he's the best football player, I don't think you can really say that about anybody, because nobody can play both sides of the ball unless that mutant freak comes by and is able to play both ways. He can play the quarterback and, do everything that Tom Brady does, and then go on the other side of the ball and play defense and play a linebacker like LT and just wreck shop left and right until that mutant animal comes. Then I can't say there's one person that's the best football player overall. But as far as the best quarterback overall, there's very good argument, maybe very little argument to have there be Tom Brady as the best quarterback ever. So let's continue on and hear what Max Kellerman has to say.
Accomplishment, the whole thing. But that does not make you the Michael Jordan of football.
Well, listen. I'm certainly not going to sit up here and tell you that Tom Brady's the greatest athlete of all time. Obviously, I disagree with that. I totally agree with you. But I do think that, you got to take into account the position that he's playing, what's required of him, and what he has delivered in comparison to his contemporaries. And that's what we have to look at. They play two different sports. Michael Jordan couldn't do what he did on the NFL level because you know what? Michael Jordan could go out there and play lights out just like Tom Brady does, but your defense stinks up the joint and they can't get it done. But in a sport of basketball, even though you can't play defense for four other guys, the fact of the matter is one individual can have profoundly more of an impact on the outcome of competition on the basketball court than necessarily is the case on the football field. Michael Jordan could shoot a jump shot. Michael Jordan could dunk on somebody. Michael Jordan could get to the free throw line. Tom Brady can't catch passes for his receivers. He can't run the football for his running backs. He can't block for himself. So when you look at it from that perspective, I just think we're talking about two different sports, and which is why I'll sit up here and give Tom Brady the respect that he's due in this regard. In clutch situations, is Tom Brady tantamount to a Michael Jordan, meaning somebody who...
I would definitely say that Tom Brady is, if you will, a Michael Jordan of football, even though they're completely different sports, like Stephen A. said, apples and oranges, because, one guy could play offense, defense, other guy can't. I would definitely say that Tom Brady is very much clutch, like Michael Jordan, because you only get one playoff game. You only get to play one Super Bowl. You have one chance to be the best on that day. One chance. And basketball, you play a series. So if you want to look at playing Michael Jordan, you say the best of 5, the best of 6, the best of 7, you might get lucky. You might get lucky and get one game. But to play him one time, to only have one game, that's pretty tough. And Tom Brady has came through time and time again and has been Mr. Clutch. And he's won the Super Bowls. He's won the playoff games when you only have one chance to do it. one chance to do it. So as far as being clutch, I would say if you want to compare the two, I would say a Tom Brady is more clutch than a Michael Jordan. If you can put them two together in some type of weird way, even though they play two different sports. But let's get back to what Stephen A. has to say.
Has the ability and has displayed the ability to close, to finish the job and get it done. That answer would be yes. He ain't the athlete that Michael Jordan was.
Is it fair to compare them as GOATs? And the answer is absolutely yes. Is this conversation fair? Is this question, is this debate fair? The answer is yes. Now, Max, I want you.
Now, I'm going to have to disagree because, like I said before, they're two different sports. They play just two different positions. Like I said, one guy can play offense, defense. The other guy can only play offense. He can't control what the other guys do. So as far as that, to compare them, I just can't see that. But let's continue on with what Will Kane has to say.
To listen to me here, because I think that you have dug yourself so deep into this anti-Tom Brady hole. And believe me,
I'm the greatest of all time. That's anti-Tom Brady.
We know what you do. We know the scroll you want to run at the bottom that when you talk about Tom Brady. But you've dug your hole so deep that you're throwing dirt on yourself. You caveat everything he does. You're now caveating 6 Super Bowls. I saw your tweets because I follow you. I saw your tweets. Oh, was he playing defense?
By the way, don't characterize what I say. Just make your point.
I am. Listen and we'll see if you can keep up.
You're mischaracterizing my
No, I don't.
I can't
Listen, here,
believe
the key,
Max
Max, the problem for you, Max, is I've listened to you.
I'm right here. You don't have to yell. I'm sitting right next to you.
I'm aware of your physical presence as well.
Oh, my gosh.
Maybe
this
not.
is
Listen to this,
hilarious.
Max.
I'm here, too.
I don't even need to debate you, Max. You don't keep yourself straight on this stuff. You talk about the coach, you talk about the defense, you talk about the running game, you caveat everything, including 6 Super Bowls. And then just now, listening to you, because this is the key in a debate, listening to you talking about 6-3, Michael Jordan 6-0. I've heard you.
I didn't say that just now, but go ahead.
If I round this tape back 30 seconds,
I didn't say 6-3. I said Michael Jordan 6-0 in championship.
You just said Michael Jordan 6-0.
Yes, I did.
Okay, so I didn't mishear you there.
No, I didn't say anything about Brady being 6-3.
Cool, because when you bring up LeBron James, you talk about how absurd it would be for somebody to go 5-3 or 3-5 and discount them for their appearances when they don't win, because you have to win to get there. You're comparing Jordan. You brought up Jordan 6-0 because you're using his undefeated performance against Tom Brady to say it's ridiculous to compare them. I understand what you're doing. Don't sit here and throw more dirt on yourself. It is absolutely fair to compare this. It is 100%.
So make your case in the you still haven't made your case in the affirmative. Look, the fact is, if you look at Michael Jordan's resume, you will never find a Game 7 in the finals where he had the equivalent of a 25 QBR. It just wouldn't happen. Tom Brady.
And let me throw in there, all of Tom Brady's Super Bowls and playoffs, they've all been Game 7s. They've all been Game 7s. It's all do or dies. Because there is no series. There is no, Game 1, Game 2, Game 3. They've all been do or dies, all Game 7. So in that aspect, it's better than Jordan's. It's better than LeBron's. It doesn't matter if you get there because you still have to win. All of Tom Brady's, his wins have been nothing but Game 7s.
In the conversation because he's performed at a very high level and he's clutch. He's playing for the greatest coach of all time, and longevity. He's done it for so long.
So great.
Michael Jordan, that's the kind of argument people make for Kareem in basketball, for Hank Aaron or Willie Mays in baseball. Michael Jordan is a different category. They're talking about, yes, he did it for 10 years, which is a long enough prime, but his peak performance was also qualitatively different from everyone else.
You will win debates. You will win debates that don't exist.
Tom Brady's peak. Well, you have to define what you mean by greatness.
Well, I'm going to show you something. You know that scroll you wanted to run to caveat your Brady performance? Look at the bottom of the scroll on this one. Read me the question.
Fair to compare Brady and Michael Jordan.
Thank you. You're making an argument that Jordan is the greatest of all time.
Right.
No one here is debating that. Stephen A. didn't. I didn't. I think Michael Jordan is the greatest athlete of all time. Does that mean I think it's unfair to compare them?
Now, I do not agree with Will Kane on that. He says he believes that Michael Jordan is the greatest athlete of all time. That is a huge no-no, And I'll bring up 2 names that will just credit that immediately. Mr. Bo Jackson and Deion Sanders. Both of those guys were professional football players and professional baseball players. As a matter of fact, one of those guys, Deion Sanders, played one professional baseball game, playoff game, on the same day he played on a professional football game for the Atlanta Falcons. So to say that Michael Jordan is the greatest athlete ever, there's no way in hell. There's no way. As a matter of fact, Michael Jordan took off a couple years from playing basketball to play baseball, and he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. So to say that Michael Jordan is the best athlete ever, no way. Basketball player, okay, you have argument for that. Clearly, strong argument. But Bo Jackson was bad. Bo Jackson was bad. His career was cut short because injury. And Deion Sanders was bad too at baseball and football. I do believe he could have been a Hall of Famer in baseball too if he was able to focus on baseball too. But there's no way Michael Jordan's the best athlete ever. But let's continue on, bro, Kane. Keep smashing Max Kellerman.
No, I think it's close.
Brady's not in. It's close. Brady's not in Jordan's category. Jordan, for 10 straight years, was by so much the best player in his sport, it was ridiculous to compare anyone to him. Brady's never been that.
I think Michael Jordan wins this debate.
And I hate to squeeze in here again about the best athletes, the best, if you want to go pound for pound, the best athlete to sport ratio. I hear that there's a guy named Wayne Gretzky. He was a better athlete he was a better player in his sport than Michael Jordan and Tom Brady were in their sports. Mr. Wayne Gretzky. I could be wrong, but I've heard that a lot. I'm not a big hockey guy, but I've heard that a lot. I just had to throw that in there. I know what we're talking about, basketball and football, but I like to give praise where praise is due. I like Mr. Gretzky. He was a baller too. But let's keep going on.
I recognize that it is a debate. You act like it isn't one. No. And because you do the same tricks that you always do, you caveat everything Tom Brady's accomplished in his entire career.
Why are you worried about characterizing my argument? Make your argument.
I'm telling you Tom Brady is in the conversation. I have made the argument.
No, you haven't. How? Why is he in the
9
conversation?
Super Bowl appearances, 6 victories, more than anybody. 9 appearances. The next closest is 6.
We just saw everyone acknowledges this year is about Belichick. He's playing for Belichick. Was Michael Jordan about Phil Jackson? That's the
guys. I know.
So if Tom Brady just played for Phil Jackson, for Bill Belichick, that makes him the best because he played for Bill Belichick? Is that what Max is trying to say? So it's because of Bill Belichick that Tom Brady is as good as he is. But if we go over to basketball and look at Michael Jordan, he played for Phil Jackson and got rings with Phil Jackson. But then you could say, oh, well, he just plays with Phil Jackson. That's why he's the best. But then Phil Jackson went and coached Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal and got rings with them too. So what does that mean? Does that mean that it's just the coach? Or, I don't know, it's just odd. It's an odd argument. Maybe you guys comment below and help me out here. Let's carry on.
Everybody's very emotional right now. Everyone just...
Emotional?
You're a little...